Sarah Mitchell was driving with 8-month-old Emma when a pickup truck blasted through a red light, sending their car into a utility pole. Dazed and bleeding, Sarah turned to her baby. The car seat had torn loose, leaving Emma dangling upside down with a harness around her throat. As smoke filled the cabin and both doors jammed, Sarah did something that left every witness speechless. Sarah Mitchell needed to pick up a few things from the store. Her 8-month-old daughter, Emma, was buckled safely in the back seat. Traffic moved at its usual pace. Sarah waited patiently at a red light. Then everything changed in an instant. A pickup truck came racing through the intersection. It didn't slow down. The truck slammed into Sarah's sedan with incredible force. The impact was devastating. The car spun wildly across the intersection, completely out of control. Finally, the car came to rest. It had crashed into a utility pole on the side of the road. Sarah's head felt like it was splitting open. The airbag had deployed right in her face, leaving her dazed and confused. For a moment, her mind was blank, but then her thoughts cleared just enough to remember. Emma. Sarah twisted around in her seat to check on her baby. What she saw made her heart stop completely. The car seat had torn loose from its base during the violent impact. Emma was dangling upside down, suspended by the safety harness that was supposed to protect her. But the harness had twisted during the crash. The harness was choking her. Sarah's maternal instincts kicked in immediately. She reached for her door handle and pulled hard. The door didn't budge. The crash had jammed it completely shut. Then Sarah noticed something else. Smoke was starting to seep into the cabin from under the hood. Thin wisps at first, but growing thicker. Outside the car, Sarah could hear voices. People were shouting. Footsteps were running toward the wreckage. Help was coming. Sarah looked back at Emma again. Her daughter's movements were getting weaker. The baby was still fighting, still struggling, but fading fast. Every second mattered now. Sarah knew she couldn't wait for someone to pry the doors open. Her eyes scanned the interior of the car desperately, looking for any way out. Then she spotted it. The rear window had cracked badly in the crash. It was her only option. Sarah twisted her body in the driver's seat, ignoring the sharp, stabbing pain that shot through her ribs. She positioned herself and drew her leg back. Then she kicked at the damaged window with her heel as hard as she could. She kicked again and again until finally the weakened window gave way completely. Sarah pulled herself through the opening. The jagged edges of broken glass caught on her clothes immediately. Blood began running down her skin. Sarah barely registered the pain. Her entire focus was on Emma. She was halfway through the window now, her upper body outside the car while her legs were still inside. She stretched desperately toward the back seat, reaching for the car seat that held her daughter. Sarah's fingers found the harness buckle. She pulled at it frantically, trying to release it. The buckle wouldn't move. Smoke continued pouring into the car. Sarah could feel the heat from under the hood increasing. Sarah reached into her pocket and pulled out her key. She began using the sharp edge to cut through the harness straps. Sarah cut through the final strap. Emma came free from the twisted harness. Sarah immediately clutched her daughter against her chest, holding her tight. Sarah was still halfway through the broken window. A bystander had rushed over to help. Sarah carefully, gently passed Emma through the window to the waiting hands. The moment her daughter was safely outside the car, Sarah felt all her strength drain away. Sarah's vision started to darken. Everything went black. The sound of sirens filled the air. Paramedics arrived within minutes of the crash. They found Sarah unconscious, hanging from the window, covered in blood from dozens of cuts. The medical team worked quickly. They carefully extracted Sarah from the wreckage and immediately began treating both mother and daughter. Emma was examined thoroughly. Miraculously, aside from being shaken and frightened, the baby was unharmed. The harness had been cutting off her airway, but Sarah had reached her in time. Sarah's injuries were much more serious. The doctors counted numerous deep lacerations across her arms, shoulders, and torso from the broken glass. She had broken several ribs in the crash. She had a concussion from the impact, but she was alive. When the firefighters examined Sarah's vehicle later, they were stunned by what they found. The car's engine compartment showed signs of an electrical fire that had been starting just as Sarah pulled Emma out. One firefighter told the paramedics that if Sarah had waited even another minute before getting Emma out, the outcome would have been very different. Between the twisted harness cutting off the baby's breathing and the smoke rapidly filling the car, Emma might not have survived. Sarah woke up in a hospital bed. Her entire body ached. Her arms were heavily bandaged. But none of that mattered when she looked to her right and saw Emma sleeping peacefully in a crib beside her bed. A nurse entered the room and smiled when she saw Sarah was awake. She told Sarah that witnesses at the crash scene had been amazed by what they saw. People were calling her a hero. Sarah just looked at her sleeping daughter. She knew without any doubt that she would do it all over again if she had to. People who had witnessed the crash told others about the mother who crawled through broken glass to save her baby. The images stayed with them, the determination and love they had seen. For Sarah, though, she wasn't thinking about being heroic. She was thinking about how grateful she was that Emma was okay. Sometimes love gives us strength we didn't know we had. Sometimes it pushes us past pain and fear and every obstacle in our way. And if you were in Sarah's position, trapped in that car with your child in danger, what would you have done?